All right, good morning, traders. How we doing? How we feeling? How's everybody doing on this hump day for this short week? That's one thing I forgot to do. Hold on. All right, so the quote of the day. Start out with the quote of the day. Something that came to me while I was doing, my little meditation session. Live like your. I can't even talk this morning. Live like your life depended on it. All right. So that is the quote of the day. I just let that, rest on your conscience. Let that marinate, and let's keep it moving to the pre-market insight, the economic outlook. All right. So of course, like I said, because we got this holiday, this is a short week. Um, Today we have the EIA short-term energy outlook. All right, that was at 8, so that's already passed. That's already came and gone. And then we have the JOLTS job openings at 10. All right. Tomorrow, PPI, initial jobless claims, crude oil inventories. So the crude oil inventories, because of the short week, we went from, it moved from Wednesday, which is today. It would have been today, but today, this week is Thursday. All right. And then on Friday, all we have the core CPI. So nothing, extremely significant. Maybe we'll see something with the jobs report today. We know that's, we know how and how much of a topic that has been in terms of politics in the U.S. lately. So we could see something. Maybe we could see some action in the markets from that. All right. So the pre-market insight. Well, the power range for the NQ future session. All right, so for the NQ futures weather report, we have a high of 1128.5 with a low of 10,935. At the time of this posting, which is at 7:46, we were trading bullish. We're up 0.137% with a volume of 157K and an ATR of 293.5, which is significant, of course, from the sell-off that we had to close out last week. Yesterday we kind of traded sideways, and then it was interesting. We'll look at that. So from my trading view idea post, let's see how we reacted to the fib lines. All right, so you see we were trading, we had a nice bounce, and I'm gonna show you this on the daily chart when I go open to Sierra. It wasn't a clean bounce, but we did bounce off of a pivot point on the daily chart. And we had a little gap down, and we bounced higher. Still looking, very bullish this morning. We're coming up into some resistance. So today, it may be pretty interesting to see how today plays out. So I was gonna do something I forgot already. All right, whatever. All right, so if I can stop clicking everything. All right, so when we look at this daily chart, you see I drew out the horizontal line here. We had some support, previous resistance right here at 1158. So I need to move my lock. We attempted to break that area, well, but we ended up bouncing off of it. So, um, if I was to speculate, which I don't really like to speculate, um, I'm definitely looking at this as just some retracement. The sell-off that we had on Friday, and we're bouncing back to, some correction. We're bouncing back to an area of support, and we could continue to trade higher. We're not technically in a bear market yet, so that's just my speculation, my opinion. Of course, I've been right and I've been wrong in the past, so we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why we need to make a plan and be ready for whatever happens. Now let's talk about this different setup, this different angle that you're seeing me on today. So I am like upgrading or moving around my workstation. I'm adding another monitor, and in that process, I change things around that I feel like it's more efficient to what I'm doing. So that's why we're looking at a different angle. I'm kind of not crazy about this, about the background. Let me know what you think. If it's better than what it was before, or if it's good. I'm not super crazy about it. Let me get some music going. So I may end up having to get another, like a webcam or something. You like it? I appreciate it. Is it better than before? Is it the same, or? Need some more volume on that. Just gonna let my playlist play today. Alright, so I'm still waiting on some pieces. And then everything I didn't get what I wanted to, wasn't able to get what I wanted to get over the weekend and yesterday. I guess because of all of this working from home and kids having to do school from home, like computer supplies are kind of scarce in the stores, in the local stores, which again, this is where Amazon shines. This is why they're dominating, because the reason why retail stores were able to still be relevant, because they provided convenience. If there's something you need and you need it right now, Amazon is not really an option for that. But now, since the stores, like especially since this year, since the pandemic hit, the inventory in stores have been less than normal. So this is it's bad for the retail section, but it's Amazon is this is a great time for Amazon and other stores like it, online stores like it. E-commerce, that's the word I was looking for. All right, so it's kind of a decent segue into the topic of the day, which is healthy living. Healthy living. I don't know why I can't talk today. Our healthy trader is the topic. Yeah. Let me move this down. All right, so I talked before about exercise and how important exercising is, and we all know that one. That's the one that that's when we hear people talk about health and being healthy, the primary go-to is you need to exercise more. That is very important to exercise and keep your body moving. We're not meant to live these sedentary lifestyles that we've become accustomed to. So it is important to get active, but also we need to make sure healthy living also includes your diet. And I'll just give a little quick little story time. And why diet? Well, diet was always important to me because I watched the elders around me suffer with their health because of the way that we ate, basically. And they would have to take a lot of medications and stuff like that. So from my youth of seeing that, I wouldn't, I always told myself that I wouldn't fall into that same routine of having to take pills and being sick all the time. But of course, I didn't have the knowledge or the information to know how I was going to do it. I was just determined that I wasn't, I was going to take my health seriously. So, when I was young, I would get sick a lot, like at least 4 or 5 times a year. And, seasonal allergies, I had seasonal allergies, like its own routine every single year. And in addition to that, I would have like, the common cold or whatever, and then I would get like strep throat or some other kind of, I would get sick in another way where I had a fever or I was vomiting or whatever. I was a really sickly child when I was growing up. And then I went into the military, and my immune system, started to boost a little bit because, in the military, you're not allowed to be sick, right? If you get sick, you just got to deal with it. You get they tell you to drink water, give you some Motrin, and you got to be like about to die in order to get. I mean, they take care of it, so we get free health care, or we got free health care. Soldiers, they get free health care and all that stuff. And if you're really sick, they'll take care of you. But just having a little cold or something like that is not it's not enough to, it's not significant, right? Water and the Motrin, that's the solution. But being in basic training and going through that, it kind of, boosted my immune system a little bit. But still, I would get sick, and I would still have seasonal allergies, and I would get sick at least, 2 or 3 times a year. All right, so fast forward to like one of my last deployments in Kuwait. I don't remember what the motivation was, but for some reason I decided that I was gonna eat more vegetables and fruits. I don't remember what the motivation was, but I decided I was gonna eat more vegetables and fruits and cut back like on all the junk food and the fast food. We had a cafeteria over there, and they have the fast food line, the fast food lane, and then they have the like just the regular food, a line for the regular food. And at first, I was kind of, eating the fast food stuff, the burgers and fries and all that. But for whatever reason, I decided I was going to change that up and, and just, eat more fruits and vegetables and stay away from the fast food in the cafeteria. Now, we also did have like Burger King and stuff like that, the overseas military version of it. So like maybe like once a week at the most, I would eat there, when, if I didn't have the time or whatever, or if I was just craving some fast food, I would eat there. But long story short, once allergy season came around, I'm expecting, because you think in the desert you wouldn't get allergies because pollen is not the same over there and blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But I would, that wasn't my first deployment, so my other deployments before in the desert, I would still get seasonal allergies. So I was expecting to get seasonal allergies on this trip as well. And so when allergy season came around, I went and got my little allergy medicine, and I was prepared and ready just to be sick for about a month. I usually would get sick around like May or late April, and that was I would be struggling for like 3 to 4 or maybe longer weeks. But this year when allergy season came around, I was expecting it, around a certain time, and I wasn't getting sick yet. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's a little different this week or this year. So I kept waiting for something to happen in terms of me, like I would get some. I'm looking at the chart. That's why it's kind of getting sidetracked in my conversation here, or what I'm saying. I was waiting for some kind of sinus issue or sore throat or something. These are my typical allergy season symptoms, right? But if nothing actually happened, and the only thing that I can really think to contribute that to at the time was that I changed my diet, all right? And So that motivated me to keep eating fruits and vegetables. Then I get maybe I also thought that maybe it's just because some reason it's different this year uh, in Kuwait. So when we go back to the States next year, we'll see. And I redeployed, came back to the States, and allergy season came around, and the same thing. I kept, I was still eating a little bit of fast food and stuff. My diet was nowhere near what it is today. Um, and I was still drinking sodas and it's sugary. I was drinking sodas, but not a lot, not as much as I used to. Um, like I can't, I can't even really quantify it because I don't remember that well. But because now I don't drink sodas at all. It's strictly water, or I may have like a smoothie or something like that if I want some taste. I don't even drink like fruit juices because of all the sugar and stuff in it. If I want juice, I eat some fruit. And, I eat so much fruit that I don't even crave juice anymore. Anyway, so but anyway, when I was back in the States and allergy season came around, I didn't get sick again. Like I may have had a sore throat, which I don't think was related to allergy season, for like a week, and I got over that, and again, so that confirmed that it was the diet change that solved my allergy problem. And like I said, my diet still wasn't perfect. I was still eating a significant amount of meat and still processed food and junk food, and sodas from time to time and all that stuff, right? Um, but just that simple tweak of increasing how much fruits and vegetables that I was eating, that made it had a life changing impact on my health, right? Um, Stop talking for a minute to look and see what's going on in the markets. So I'm looking at this. We're trading down into a recent pivot point. See a couple places I could possibly place a limit buy. Didn't trade down there. undecisive so far. I want to see how this candle is going to close. Hindsight Capital says I could have took a long here at 252. That area to me wasn't, really clear when I was watching it, partly because of I was talking. But Hindsight Capital says that would have been a good location to place an order. What this pink line is, that's the high of the day. A nice little double top up there. Take one down here.
Order submitted.
Don't do me like that. I got an order sitting at 203.75. This little price action bounce that we're seeing right now, I would have liked to have been part of it, but it turned around before it reached my order. And I'm thinking if I want to keep it down there or if I want to reassess. If this kind of poses like I think it is, I'm gonna go with the latter.
Order canceled.
That would have been a beautiful play. All right. I'm gonna have to wait for my next entry. All right, so everything I was saying earlier, the point of it is, when it comes to our health, especially in light of what has transpired this year, one of the best things we can do for ourselves is to improve our immune systems. And the way that we do that, because our immune system really controls everything that happens in our bodies, right? And what your immune system needs is it needs a lot of minerals and vitamins, and water to be able to function at at its best, to have peak performance, right? So one way I kind of look at it is like the military, right? For a military organization, the more resources and the more, we call it training, that you give your troops, your trying not to use military terms, the military organization, the more resources, the more training that you give it, the more prepared it will be for a wartime situation. And you got to treat your immune system is the military for your body, right? It protects your body. It keeps away all of the the bacteria and the germs that would cause harm to your body. I'm not gonna go too deep in that, at the same time, I'm not like a certified nutrition or a doctor or anything like that. So this is just me expressing my opinion and my experiences, right? And everything that I'm saying, it's not something that something that I read somewhere or some random opinion that I came up with. This is based off of my personal experience, for myself, as well as other people around me, my loved ones and my friends, that I recognize the same things in them. So this is a collection of past experiences and studying, right? I didn't go to school for it, but at the same time, I have spent a lot of time in my adult life focusing on health related topics and issues, right? So now I'm consider myself a very healthy for my age. I've never really, there was a time a few years ago when I was working in Kuwait as a contractor that I became, and this is like the biggest thing that really drove it home for me about the diet. I went to the hospital, but it's really, I went to the doctors for it was can't remember, it was something like routine, and when they took my blood pressure and everything, they did my vitals, they said that I had high blood pressure and I was pre-diabetic, right? And fortunately I also came across a doctor that told me that I need to increase, because I kind of slipped back into eating a lot of processed food and fast food and stuff. It's because my time management was a little different for me when I was working over there. And I ran into a doctor that told me the nutrition side of it, where I need to eat more raw fruits and vegetables. So me with all the my past experiences and knowing what I knew, and then hearing that doctor say that, that really drove it home for me. And I started taking my diet extremely seriously at that time. And I cut out all the junk food at this time period. From time to time I may eat a little. I don't eat any processed food really, but I do may have a small bag of chips or something, or some kind of sweets or whatever. I'm not 100% like vegan, but I do have a plant-based diet, and I try to avoid like all animal protein and anything that comes from an animal. And while it's not great how they treat the animals, and my motivation is not about keeping the animals or saving the animals or whatever. My motivation is about health and human health, not just my own health, but other people. This is why I'm talking about it this morning. So once I got that diagnosis that I was pre-diabetic and I had high blood pressure or hypertension, I really completely took my diet seriously and significantly increased my plant intake. And a couple months passed, and I went back to the doctor for another routine checkup, and all my vitals and everything turned out okay. I was I wasn't exercising a lot. I didn't do any I didn't increase my I wasn't taking any supplements or anything like that. I wasn't doing anything crazy. The only thing I changed was I cut out the junk food. I was drinking straight water. I may have a smoothie or whatever from time to time. And really, at that time I was only eating white meat. And I was still eating. I was eating that every day. But at the same time, if I had to put it in a percentage, my diet was like 85% plant, and then the rest like either chicken or fish or something like that. So just from making that simple tweak, I reversed the effects that the not so good food was having on my body, that was causing me to have hypertension and be well on my way to being diabetic. So I haven't really shared that story to the public before, but I think it's actually something that's really important. I hear a lot about health a lot, and like I said before, most people talk about the exercising, and you got people that talks about taking supplements, which I don't think there's anything wrong with supplements. If that's the way you want to get down, that option is there for you. But personally, the thing that I've seen work the best for me anyway was it's increasing the amount of plants that I eat, and whole plants as much as there's a label game going on in these supermarkets and stuff like that. So at a certain point you just gotta trust the labels, but that is what it is. It's not that complicated. A lot of people tend to make health a complicated topic, but it's not that complicated. Us humans, we are extremely adaptable, and we thrive from the environment that we live in. So our environment is full of vegetation. So you just put two and two together. And I'm trying not to be too specific and act like and make it seem like I'm telling giving medical advice because I'm not at liberty to do so. Like I said, I'm only sharing my personal opinion. So you can take my experience, whatever it means to you. I would highly recommend, having a plant-based diet. But it's just my opinion. You can do what you want. Appreciate that, Origin. That area would have made sense to get in also. And in addition to diet, what's also important is sleep. Sleep is extremely important. I haven't been here's one, like most people, give the advice that you need 8 hours of sleep. I haven't been an 8 hours of sleep person until, since I was young, and I slept all the time when I was young. But it's just, I'm not gonna go into details of, my theory of why that changed. But so how much sleep you need is gonna vary. So you have to be in tune with yourself and feel if you wake up, you feel refreshed, you feel ready to go, then you got enough sleep. It doesn't matter how many hours or how much time it is. Like usually I sleep maybe about 5 to 6 hours. If I'm extremely tired, I may go 7 or whatever. But my sweet spot now is about like 5 to 6 hours. So that's something that sleep is something that you're gonna have to determine for yourself. But it is extremely important. Your body does need time to, when you're sleeping, your body is busy, recovering and working on the, things that it needs to work on to keep you, in top shape. And lately I've been drinking a lot of tea. I've been trying to, drink more cleansing tea. And this one is a berry detox. It's something I do want to explore. I don't spend a lot of time like doing all these detox methods or whatever. But I do want to, explore that. Going like a trial and error phase. Most of my health things are, if I hear something and it makes sense to me, I try it out and see how it works for me. That's how I approach my health. I'm gonna do a lot of research about it first. But, if it makes sense and it doesn't seem like too extreme or it's not synthetic, it's not some kind of synthetic solution. I'm big about natural health, so if it's natural, I definitely try it out. I was talking too much, so I missed another one. The market rolled over on me. I do see this area. I could have got in down here. The way the market is trading right now, I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities. screenshot this. In this type of market, I would definitely prefer to buy in on a pullback. So I have two different methods that I like to get in. I like to, and I think I'm pretty sure I've said this before. But I either like to, like the trade I try to take down here, I like to buy in on the dip. So I have my order sitting at some support if I'm going long, of course. Or I would like to, if a green candle takes out a red, I would go long that green candle. Or if it bounces at a support, then I will also go long at the break of that previous green candle. But in this type of market, I would prefer to take the dip. Time flew by this morning, probably because I was talking so much more than usual. All right, so I'm going to be waiting for another opportunity to get in, but it is 10 o'clock, so it's time to wrap this stream up. I appreciate y'all for coming and listening to what I got to talk about and trading with me. Hope y'all can, your trade goes well for the rest of the day, and y'all have a good one, a good rest of the week, and I will see you guys Monday. Deuces.